Hey everybody, this is Harshith, and today we're going to talk about the modern forms of leverage, which are code, capital, media, and labor. Also, I'm actually using a teleprompter right now, so I'm staring directly into the camera, but I'm looking at the reflection of the phone. Also have the small controller thing, which I just stop, and yeah, I have some pointers there, so I don't have to look at my monitor. I can directly look into the camera. So let's get started. Firstly, introduction to modern form of leverage. And even before that, let's understand what leverage is. Leverage basically means you have greater output for less input. So what does that mean? So Archimedes actually said, his famous quote went by, give me a lever long enough and I shall move the earth. So basically what he means is, you guys might know what a lever is, right? So lever, using the lever you can move objects. Like if there's a huge rock, you use that lever, put it down, it just, that the whole thing moves. So basically your body weight is lesser than the object, but using a lever, you have leverage. Using that leverage, you're able to move an object which is greater in mass than your body itself. So you can move a higher object with a higher mass than your body itself. So basically that is leverage. That's how leverage basically is. That's how leverage works. So now we're going to talk about modern forms of leverage, and not in terms of more of the physical manual labor. We're going to talk about the digital leverage. All right. So Naval Ravikant actually, one of his podcasts, he actually spoke about this. It's also in his almanac of Naval Ravikant. It's basically a combination of all of his tweets, made it into a book. Such an amazing read, guys. You guys should definitely read it. All right, so modern forms of leverage are code, capital, media, and labor. So why code? Code is basically you write code once, and then code is basically unlimited leverage. You write code once and then you can leverage it to billions of people. That's what Facebook basically is. That's what Bitcoin basically is. Satoshi Nakamoto, whoever the fuck that is, he created the Bitcoin, a white paper using cryptography, and now there's trillions of dollars of value logged in, right? So that is basically what code can do. It has unlimited leverage, and it just goes on. You create it once, and then you can distribute it to so many people even at once, right? That's one form of leverage. The next one is capital. This is the most common form of leverage, which not a lot of people have. So basically capital is just money, right? If you have $100,000, you can basically do a lot of things. You can hire people, and then you can make them work. You can make them create other forms of leverage like code or something, and then they do the work, right? So that's the second form of leverage, which is capital. Now coming to media. Media is what you're watching right now. This is another form of leverage, which basically I am capitalizing on. That means I am creating valuable content. Hope so, right? I'm creating content, and then I'm sharing it with you. That basically means I'm using media as a form of leverage. When radio was invented, it was just like one box, and you could share information with a lot of people, right? That's what a radio was. And now, of course, we all of us know TikToks and teenagers dancing. That is also a form of leverage. I'm going to come to that part, all right? And next, labor. Labor has been in existence since the dawn of humanity, and basically means people, all right? The more number of people doing the work, the more leverage you have, and that's actually used with the currency arbitrage more in India. That means what you're paying like one developer or one accountant, you can have like five to six developers in India or Philippines or Africa doing the same kind of work. That's another form of leverage. So arbitrage, the labor arbitrage, the currency arbitrage is something that people capitalize on. Example, TCS, like Tata Consultancy Services, Wipro, like the biggest firms based out of India. They basically have clients in the US, and they are providing labor from India. That's one form of leverage. All right. Now, let's use my teleprompter. Oh, was it not working? All right. It's Bluetooth connected, so it's going to take some time. Anyways, let's get back to content as a leverage, basically media, but I like calling it content as a leverage. It can actually be writing on Twitter, creating YouTube videos, TikTok content, all of that, right? That's content. But now I'm specifically going to talk about why content is so important here, and some of the things, some of the mistakes that I have made with content. And yeah, that's what we're going to discuss here. All right. So content as a leverage. So this is how you build distribution, right? So what I'm doing right now is actually I am distributing my ideologies through content, right? I'm basically creating content and then distributing it. I'm also not going to use a lot of editing style. I see this trend, which is like anti-editing style, and I'm the happiest person if that is going to become a trend, because it's just me talking directly to the camera. No need to do editing. I have Premiere Pro, I have Adobe After Effects, I know how to do it, but it just takes a lot of time. I don't doing that. I don't like doing that, because I can put my work and I can basically put my skills into something else which has more leverage than just creating videos here, editing videos here, right? So yeah, that's one point also I wanted to add. But now, why it's just so easy to create and distribute content. Like I create a podcast, I create videos, and then I just distribute it everywhere on the internet, right? That's the easiest form of leverage. And now let's go to selling is actually a difficult part. So right now, let's say anybody can create products. Let's say you created some code, you created other forms of products, like an info product, or even like a course or a book, or even SaaS product or a micro SaaS product that you're building. Anybody can build it right now. Like there are so many no-code tools. You can use Bubble, Flutter, all of that, and build stuff so quickly. And even the coding environment, the code environment has become so easy right now to just build so much of content. And now there's ChatGPT. You don't know stuff, you just pick some code from there, go to Reddit, go to communities, go to Discord communities, and just get stuff done so easy. But the problem here is distribution. You can build the best product in the world, the best website, the best software in the world, but if you don't have distribution, nobody's gonna fucking buy it. That's the problem. And now, how do you build distribution? That can actually be with labor, with labor who can like sell your products. But now, as we are only going to talk about content, it basically means you're going to create content about your software, right? You're going to create content about your software. You're going to talk about your software. You're going to distribute value-adding things on various platforms. Like Gary Vee calls it, it's just distributing content, just day in, day out about whatever you're creating, right? That is the best form of content that I see that I can easily leverage. And if you're someone who can talk to the camera easily, if you're someone who can create some content easily, and if you're also someone who looks so good like me, so you could just talk to a camera, have some pointers, share your thoughts to the world. So that's the biggest form of distribution. And coming back to the mistakes that I've made is, I'd say not staying consistent with the content game, because I thought I could just sit behind the camera, I could just work, I could just do some great stuff, create some great software products, which I also did. Like Artifin is something that I've done, and I've also sold that company. But if I did have distribution, I could have got a lot more customers, a lot more beta testers for my product if I did have distribution. So in 2024, it just goes without saying, it is so important to have leverage, to have distribution, and to create content. That's you just need it. That's all. All right. Yeah, and also doubling down on personal brand. I'd say building a strong personal brand is also very important, and this can also happen by sharing content, adding value, and all of that. And why is distribution so important? Like I already spoke about, like distribution is the most important key factors here, because if nobody knows who you are, if nobody knows that your product exists, no one's gonna buy it. So you're basically casting a net. You're creating content, you're casting a net. And I've seen people do it. I've seen a lot of people who have created content like since 2023. They build a big personal brand, and in now 2024, there are like countless ways to basically monetize that audience, right? There are literally countless ways to monetize that audience. And now, when it comes to leverage on social media, sometimes you actually have to be okay doing cringe content. I really don't mean like dancing on TikTok but it's important to create memes, funny videos here and there. It's just that's how it is. Like, because I've seen so many people on Twitter just shit posting and getting so many views, and when you're just sitting there writing some intellectual tweets, nobody gives a shit. That's how it is. That's how the world works. I don't know why, but that's how the world works, because people like shallow content, and most people think in a very base layer. That's why shallow content is the most distributed content that we can see. That's why dances like shitty TikTok dances or those lip sync videos, they have like millions of views. I really can't, I don't even understand, like, why would someone watch a lip sync video of someone else just lip syncing something else? It just doesn't make any sense. But it has millions of views, and that's how the game is. So basically, what I'm trying to say is, don't hate the player, hate the game, and that's how the game is. So there's nothing much we can do. All right, and this actually opens up a big network for you, right? It opens up a big network. You're able to connect with a lot of people. You're able to the right kind of people follow you. The right kind of people get in touch with you, and that's what I call the luck surface area. So let me double click on this a little bit. Luck surface area, that means, let's say basically you're in San Francisco Bay Area, right? You're in the Bay Area. That's where all the tech happens. That's where the first tech news spreads, right? That's where it happens. And now for that to come to wherever you are, for example, for India, coming to Bangalore, it's easily going to take 6 months. Easy going to take 6 months coming from Bay Area to Bangalore. And Bangalore is actually the first funnel of network effects or communication, right? That's what it is. And when that happens, you're already 6 months late. That means people in the Bay Area have already capitalized, they've already started building the things that are trending now, and you are late. So that's what it is. That's basically asymmetry of information, and you have to be closest to what's happening to in the Bay Area. And now it's possible to do so again with content. If you're able to build the kind of connections there, the right kind of connections, it's just there, if you build the right network, if you build the right kind of people, they will be sharing you what we call alphas, like before even the news comes out, and insider trading, insider info, that's what it is, right? People, of course, insider trading is illegal, but it is what it is, man. There's nothing we can do about it, because that's how humans have evolved. We are communities, we like sharing stuff with the closest ones, and that's how it works. If you don't have that, there's nothing you can do. So it's going to help you in building a network as well. Okay. Now, understanding trends, right? If you also have a large number of audience, let's go back to this example, right? So now you found out a trend happening in the Bay Area. You are in the Bay Area, you know a trend, and now you can capitalize on this super easy. You can build it. It's fast, right? You can build things fast, and then if you already have the audience, you can also distribute it fast. That means people are going to click when people are getting curious, they're going to type on YouTube, and guess what? You're the guy who appears first on YouTube with this kind of alphas or with this kind of information, and that's how you blow up, right? Opens up more opportunities again. And yeah, the next one, I'd say content also has to be a value added, because if you're not really adding value, just wasting people's time, it's not going to work out. You have to add value there. And one more thing that I actually want to talk about is this whole mindset shift that's important for you. If you do want to do this, if you do want to leverage content, is basically transitioning from a consumption mindset to a creation mindset. So that's one of the goals for me in 2024. Stop consuming less and start creating more. I just can't imagine, like, see, okay, just think of this. You watched so much content, you watched so much videos on how to get rich or how to make money online or psychology of money or whatever it is, whatever you've read, you have that content. But guess what? The people who made those videos have capitalized on their audience. They've built a community, they've gated their community, they made money out of it. That's how it is. And you were just there, including me, I was just there sitting and watching. So a big no to consumption and a big yes to creation. So let's create in 2024. Let's create content. Let's churn the shit out of content.